In the vast expanse of the galaxy, where the most advanced civilizations vie for dominance, humanity stood as a reluctant newcomer. Earth had only recently joined the Galactic Federation, a coalition of alien species united by shared trade, governance, and most notably, competition. These competitions, known as skill arenas, were more than mere games. They were a demonstration of a species' worth, a stage to prove mastery in combat, strategy, and survival. For decades, Earth had been overlooked, mocked even, by more advanced civilizations. The humans were seen as primitive, a species dependent on outdated technology, and lacking the genetic enhancements or psionic abilities of their galactic peers. Despite their technological advances, Earth's representatives were viewed as weaklings in a galaxy dominated by titans of strength, intellect, and ingenuity. So when it was announced that Earth would compete in the next skill arena, the Federation's elite could barely contain their laughter. The day of the announcement was met with scoffs and sneers from delegates of advanced species. Some openly speculated Earth would send a clunky robot or a poorly engineered cyborg, a desperate attempt to mimic the technologies of superior races. Others joked that humanity might embarrass itself further by sending a muscle-bound soldier, overconfident but underprepared. It seemed inconceivable to the galactic audience that Earth could offer anything unique. But when Earth's representative was revealed, the laughter turned deafening. A lone figure clad in black, unarmed and unassuming, stepped forward. The alien spectators blinked in confusion before breaking into hysterics. This was no enhanced warrior, no towering machine of war. It was a human, clad in a strange garment they didn't recognize, a ninja, a figure from Earth's ancient traditions, known for stealth, precision, and discipline. To the aliens, it looked like Earth had sent an outdated relic into a contest of the galaxy's finest. The Galactic Federation Council questioned Earth's decision, and Earth's envoy offered only a cryptic reply. What humanity lacks in brute force, we make up for in ingenuity. Watch and learn. This further fueled the derision. How could a single human, relying on ancient techniques, compete against the galaxy's most advanced warriors and strategists? As the skill arena drew closer, whispers circulated among the spectators. The ninja, silent and reserved, did not engage with opponents or reveal any training. It was a stark contrast to the elaborate preparations of the other participants, who flaunted their weapons, gadgets, and abilities. Alien champions demonstrated devastating psionic blasts, displays of brute strength capable of toppling buildings, and mastery over technology that defied imagination. Against these titans, the ninja appeared laughably out of place. Yet, beneath the mocking glances and sneering faces, a few perceptive observers noted something unsettling. The ninja moved with a grace and purpose that seemed almost supernatural. Every step was deliberate, every motion precise. There was a calm confidence about this human that didn't match the ridicule being hurled their way. The laughter reached its peak on the eve of the first trial. In a lavish banquet attended by all competitors and dignitaries, Earth's champion remained seated, silently observing. The other participants, brimming with arrogance, took turns boasting of their inevitable victories. One particularly imposing figure, a reptilian warrior with a body like a fortress, bellowed, "Tomorrow, this fragile human will crumble at the first challenge. Perhaps we should call a medic now to save time." The ninja didn't respond. They didn't flinch. They simply gazed at the reptilian champion with an unreadable expression before returning to their quiet meal. The silence only heightened the scorn, with the crowd erupting into fresh waves of laughter. But the quiet observer from Earth seemed unshaken, as if the outcome of the trials had already been decided. As the banquet drew to a close, an alien dignitary, intrigued despite themselves, approached the ninja. "Do you not fear the arena?" they asked, their voice tinged with both curiosity and pity. The human paused, considered the question, and replied softly, "Fear is the weapon of the unprepared. I have trained my whole life for this." The cryptic reply only deepened the alien's curiosity. But before they could ask more, the ninja rose and left the banquet hall, disappearing into the shadows. That night, while the other competitors flaunted their abilities and discussed strategies, Earth's representative remained an enigma. And though the galaxy's finest warriors laughed and celebrated their presumed superiority, a quiet sense of unease began to creep into the edges of their confidence. The first trial began with an air of mockery hanging over the arena. The vast, circular coliseum buzzed with anticipation as the spectators eagerly awaited the inevitable humiliation of Earth's representative. The ninja stood silently at the starting line of an elaborate obstacle course, surrounded by towering champions from other species. The course was a labyrinth of challenges designed to test speed, strength, and ingenuity. Alien champions equipped with advanced technology and augmented bodies stood poised, exuding confidence. The ninja, by contrast, wore no visible equipment, carried no weapons, and displayed no outward sign of preparation. As the signal to start blared, the competitors burst into motion. A massive alien with mechanical limbs smashed through barriers with brute force, while another competitor leapt over obstacles using jet-assisted boots. The ninja, however, moved differently. Each step was calculated, each motion deliberate. While others relied on overwhelming power or technological aids, the ninja flowed through the course like water, bypassing traps and hazards with precision and grace. The first obstacle was a wall of shifting platforms suspended over a chasm. The crowd watched as the alien warriors stumbled and faltered, their heavy frames struggling to maintain balance. The ninja, however, seemed to glide across, leaping from one platform to the next with effortless agility. Even the spectators, who had been jeering moments before, fell silent in astonishment. As the course progressed, the ninja's approach became increasingly apparent. Where others attempted to overpower or outpace the challenges, the human relied on observation, patience, and efficiency. When a series of automated turrets activated, spraying the arena with high-intensity plasma blasts, the competitors scattered, dodging chaotically or deploying shields. The ninja, in contrast, paused momentarily, studying the turret's patterns before darting forward with uncanny timing, weaving through the fire unscathed. By the time the trial ended, the ninja had completed the course faster than any other competitor, leaving even the most skeptical observers stunned. The other participants, many of whom had mocked the human earlier, exchanged uneasy glances. The crowd, initially subdued, erupted into reluctant applause, though murmurs of disbelief rippled through the stands. The second trial was a direct combat test. Competitors were matched against a mechanized opponent, a towering construct designed to simulate the most formidable battlefield adversaries. Each participant was given the option to choose weapons from a provided arsenal. Most selected plasma blades, particle rifles, or other advanced weaponry. The ninja, once again, chose nothing. The crowd erupted into laughter as the unarmed human faced the hulking mech. The laughter quickly died when the fight began. The mechanized opponent launched a barrage of attacks, each one capable of leveling a building. Yet, the ninja evaded with an ease that seemed almost supernatural. The mech's movements, while powerful, were predictable, its strikes telegraphed. The ninja dodged, deflected, and closed the distance with astonishing speed. In a series of precise, calculated maneuvers, the ninja targeted key joints and vulnerable components. A well-placed strike disabled the mech's primary weapon systems, while another rendered its mobility useless. Within minutes, the towering construct collapsed, defeated not by brute force but by precision and strategy. The audience, now on the edge of their seats, erupted into cheers. What had begun as ridicule had turned into reluctant admiration. The final trial of the day was a strategy challenge, a simulated battle against an artificial intelligence opponent designed to test tactical acumen. Each competitor was given command of a virtual fleet, tasked with securing strategic objectives while neutralizing the enemy. The alien participants, confident in their technological superiority, approached the challenge with aggressive strategies, relying on overwhelming force to achieve quick victories. The ninja's approach was different. While others launched full-scale assaults, the human employed a methodical, almost minimalist strategy. By studying the AI's patterns and tendencies, the ninja predicted its moves and exploited its weaknesses. Feints, misdirections, and carefully orchestrated ambushes allowed the ninja's virtual fleet to outmaneuver and outsmart the AI at every turn. By the end of the trial, The ninja had not only secured the objectives but had done so with minimal losses, achieving the highest score of the day. The crowd, now fully invested, erupted into thunderous applause. The earlier derision and mockery had vanished, replaced by genuine respect and awe. The ninja, as always, remained silent, offering no celebration or acknowledgement of the growing admiration. While the other competitors glared with a mixture of envy and disbelief, the humans simply bowed and left the arena, ready for whatever came next. As the trials concluded for the day, the whispers among the galactic audience grew louder. The ninjas' victories had shifted the narrative, but not entirely. Skepticism still lingered. Many believed the human success was a fluke, a result of luck or the weaknesses of the opponents. However, the reigning champion, known as Zalvok, did not share that sentiment. Zalvok was a towering warlord, a veteran of countless battles, and the undefeated champion of the skill arenas for over a decade. He was a figure of legend, combining raw physical strength with psychic abilities that could incapacitate even the strongest opponents. To him, the ninja was not a curiosity but a potential threat. Watching the human dismantle the trials with such precision had triggered something unfamiliar in Zalvok, intrigue laced with irritation. In the quiet of his quarters, the warlord reviewed recordings of the ninja's performances. Each movement, each decision, was scrutinized. It became clear that this human wasn't simply skilled, they were disciplined to an almost inhuman degree. There was no wasted effort, no unnecessary action. Every step, every strike was calculated. Zalvok's irritation deepened, but it was accompanied by a grudging respect. This would be no ordinary opponent. The night before the final battle, the atmosphere in the arena complex shifted. Competitors who had previously dismissed the human now avoided eye contact. Some muttered words of caution, while others speculated openly about the ninja's chances against Zalvok. Among them, one competitor, a telepathic alien with a thin, wiry frame, approached the ninja. The alien, curious and perhaps hoping to glean some advantage, attempted to probe the human's mind. What they found was not what they expected. The alien stumbled backward, shaken. "Your mind, it's like a fortress. How do you block me so easily?" they asked, their voice trembling. The ninja, as always, offered no reply. The alien's experience spread quickly among the competitors, fueling the mystique around Earth's representative. What kind of training could create such an impenetrable mental defense in a species with no psychic abilities? The question lingered, unanswered. As the final day of the skill arena dawned, the anticipation was palpable. The arena was packed with spectators, the air buzzing with energy. Zalvok stood at the center, a hulking figure of muscle and menace, his psychic aura radiating power. The ninja entered silently, their small, unarmed frame a stark contrast to the warlord's imposing presence. The juxtaposition only heightened the tension. The announcer's voice echoed through the arena, recounting Zalvok's legendary achievements. The crowd roared in approval. When it came time to introduce the ninja, the announcement was brief, almost dismissive, a reminder of humanity's underdog status. Yet the reaction from the audience was different now. There were no jeers, only hushed murmurs and a growing sense of curiosity. The ninja had earned their attention and perhaps their respect. Before the battle began, Zalvok addressed the ninja directly. "You've impressed many, human," he said, his deep voice carrying an edge of mockery. "But this is where your journey ends. I will not underestimate you, but you should know that no amount of discipline can overcome true power." The ninja said nothing, their gaze steady and unreadable. Zalvok's words hung in the air, but they elicited no reaction. The silence was unnerving, even to the warlord. He clenched his fists, his massive frame radiating barely contained energy. For the first time in years, Zalvok felt the weight of expectation pressing down on him. As the final trial loomed, the crowd's excitement reached a fever pitch. Spectators from across the galaxy had gathered to witness what many believed would be the ultimate battle of this skill arena. The reigning champion against the enigmatic human. The most advanced psychic abilities against ancient earthly tradition. Strength against precision. The stakes were clear. This wasn't just about victory, it was about proving the worth of a species. For humanity, it was a chance to rewrite their narrative, to demand recognition and respect in a galaxy that had long dismissed them. For Zalvok, it was a test of his dominance, a fight to maintain his unchallenged reign. As the crowd roared in anticipation, the ninja stood motionless, exuding a calm that defied the chaos around them. It was the calm before the storm, the moment when all doubts, fears, and expectations condensed into a single, inevitable clash. Both combatants knew that when the signal was given, the galaxy would witness something unforgettable. The moment the battle began, the arena fell silent. Zalvok's psychic presence washed over the space like a tidal wave, a palpable force that sent shivers through the audience. The warlord moved with the confidence of someone who had crushed every opponent before him. His first attack was swift, a telekinetic strike aimed directly at the ninja. The air shimmered as the invisible force barreled toward the human. The ninja didn't flinch. A subtle shift of their body allowed the attack to pass harmlessly by, grazing the edge of their garments. The crowd gasped. Zalvok's eyes narrowed. It wasn't evasion born of desperation, it was precision. Calculated. Intentional. The warlord's expression hardened as he followed up with a series of rapid, devastating strikes. Debris from the arena floor exploded with each missed blow, yet the ninja moved fluidly, always one step ahead. For the first time in years, Zalvok felt a flicker of frustration. His attacks were relentless, designed to overwhelm even the most seasoned warriors, but this human was different. They didn't counter or retaliate, nor did they panic. They simply evaded, their movements minimal and controlled. It was as if the ninja were studying him, analyzing his every move. When Zalvok shifted to close combat, the difference in their physicality became stark. The warlord's towering frame dwarfed the human, and his strikes carried enough force to shatter steel. Yet, no matter how fast or powerful the attacks, the ninja's defense remained unbroken. They dodged, deflected, and redirected the energy, using Zalvok's own momentum against him. The crowd, initially cheering for the champion, now watched in stunned silence. As the battle stretched on, Zalvok's frustration grew into anger. He unleashed his psychic abilities in full force, creating illusions, manipulating the environment, and launching attacks from multiple directions at once. The ninja's response was seamless. They adapted to every new challenge, their focus unyielding. When Zalvok's illusions surrounded them, the ninja closed their eyes, relying on instinct and heightened senses to navigate the assault. When the warlord tore chunks of the arena floor to hurl as weapons, the ninja used their agility to turn the debris into shields and platforms. Minutes turned into what felt like hours. Zalvok, unaccustomed to prolonged battles, began to show signs of strain. His movements, once precise and calculated, grew heavier, his attacks more desperate. The ninja, by contrast, seemed almost untouched. Their breathing was steady, their focus sharp. It was clear to everyone watching, this was not a battle of strength, but of endurance and control. The turning point came when the ninja, for the first time, went on the offensive. A single, swift motion brought them within striking distance of the warlord. Their attack was not one of brute force but of precision, a calculated strike aimed at a vulnerable joint in Zalvok's armor. The warlord stumbled, more from shock than pain. It was the first time in years that someone had managed to land a blow against him. The audience erupted into chaos, a mixture of cheers and disbelief. Zalvok roared in fury, his psychic energy flaring uncontrollably. He lashed out with everything he had, a final, desperate attempt to reclaim control. The arena itself seemed to tremble under the force of his power. Yet, the ninja remained unshaken. They moved like a shadow, untouchable and unyielding. In the final moments, the ninja executed a maneuver so fast, so precise, that many in the crowd didn't fully comprehend what had happened. One moment, Zalvok was towering over his opponent, and the next, he was on his knees. The ninja stood behind him, silent as ever, their hand hovering near a critical nerve point on the warlord's neck. It was a gesture of restraint, a silent declaration that the battle was over. The arena fell into an eerie silence. Zalvok, breathing heavily, stared at the ground in disbelief. He had been defeated, not by a stronger opponent, but by one who had outmatched him in every other way. Slowly, the warlord rose to his feet, turned to face the ninja, and did something no one expected. He bowed. The audience erupted into applause, their earlier mockery replaced by genuine admiration. For the first time in the history of the skill arenas, the reigning champion had acknowledged defeat with honor. The ninja, true to their nature, simply returned the bow before stepping away, their presence as quiet and enigmatic as it had been throughout the competition. The aftermath of the battle reverberated across the galaxy. The victory was not just a triumph for Earth but a reminder of the value of discipline, adaptability, and precision. In a galaxy that revered strength and technology, the ninja's performance highlighted the power of tradition and ingenuity. Humanity, once dismissed as insignificant, now stood as equals among the stars. And the ninja, though nameless and faceless, became a legend, a symbol of what humanity could achieve when underestimated.